So someone asked me, can KAP help you with OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, and anxiety? In my opinion, yes. I remember when I first started to go to KAP, and I would arrive there and I would see like 80% of them was women, and we would have to share, introduce ourselves, talk about our feelings. Like, for me, it was a mirror. It was revealing something in me feels uncomfortable, a bit ashamed. When it was my turn to speak, my heart started to race. So there was anxiety, and there were also thoughts, a lot of thoughts. And what I noticed was after a session had ended, and I would have the energetic experience where something was released, a fear was released, a trauma was released. I would have like some kind of expansion of love in my heart, whatever happened, right? Because in KAP, the more KAP that you do, the more that your kundalini energy and the energy of non-duality, it reconditions, rewires your body, all your bodies, because you have a physical body, mental body, energetic body. You have different bodies, right? And all of those bodies have memories, conditioning. So in KAP, all those bodies get reconditioned so that there's alignment. And at the end of a session, you truly feel aligned. You feel so centered. So many people say, I feel at home. It's like coming back home to myself. I feel happy. I feel at peace. I feel I am, right? And there's this warmness and connection with your heart. You know what you are. You are in yourself. And it's a most incredible feeling. And you notice that after a session, all of a sudden, you're just at ease, looking at everybody in the eyes, talking with everybody very calmly, because you're centered, you're in alignment. Now, what I did notice was KAP revealed for me the triggers. So for instance, I remember this one instance where I would talk after a session with somebody, with a facilitator, and I would be holding her hands, and she would be looking at me, and I was looking in her eyes, and I noticed even though inside I was totally at ease, totally calm, my body would like tremble a little bit, would be a little bit nervous. And it was so funny. It's like if before KAP you're anxious or you're not at ease, you're really like at the mercy of it. But after KAP, there's some kind of distance. You know you're centered, you're in alignment, and you notice, whoa, something's happening, but you know it's not you. You know it's just a reaction of the body. And so, what did I do? I went home and I worked with it. I inquired about it. Why? Why do I feel like that? What is this nervousness about? What's happening there? And when I went into the root cause of it, and I used transpersonal coaching for this, what I found was there was a deep shame of who I was. There was a deep judgment about some part of me that I couldn't accept, that I didn't like. And I knew if she could see that in me, I don't feel comfortable. I'm afraid that she will see that and then judge me, right? So it's all about becoming aware and using that conditioning. Because in KAP, you will get triggered. You will get triggered very often. If someone in the session starts to scream, or somebody starts to laugh or cry, and you have some kind of reaction to it. Some people get afraid. Some people think, oh my God, this is possession. Some people start to cry or get upset. It's all revealing your own conditioning. It's all food for thought, so you can work with it. Sometimes it gets worked out in KAP, oftentimes not. Now, the more KAP that you do, and I've done 41 sessions, the more and more that you just feel aligned, and you feel a wholeness inside. You feel, I am what I am. And you realize there's either a resonance with other people or there's not a resonance. For instance, for a very long time in a KAP session, for the first 15, 16 sessions, I would hear people make sounds, express themselves, sing, cry, whatever, but it would with me, whenever I wanted to cry or to sing or to shout, my body would tense up. It wouldn't allow me to do that. And I didn't understand why. So I inquired about it. It was because there was self-judgment, there was shame of not being accepted. And throughout the sessions and working with the material, working with them, with the triggers, so it's like, oh, something in me is blocked, something in me is reacting to that. So inquire into that, see the root cause of it. And then when you find the root cause of it, and you can bring more awareness to it, it changes. You don't have to change it, you don't have to fix it. You just bring awareness to it and see, understand it. If there's understanding, there's immediate change because there's insight. And then I would go back to a KAP session. All of a sudden, sound would start to come out, or emotions would start to come out, or different kind of expressions started to come out, because I knew my body, it felt safe, because I would give myself permission to just be. And after every KAP sessions, I would notice just like alignment, and you get used to that feeling. So after a while, you know when you're in alignment or you're not in alignment, and you feel a resonance of things, resonates with you or doesn't resonate with you. I remember I would sometimes get a hug from people, and I would feel a bit tense, because there was like, just like, okay, I'm hugging you, letting you go. Now, when I'm hugging somebody, I'm surrendering to the hug, and I keep hugging them, and there's a complete breathing, like full relaxation. And what I notice is I become aware that other people have this tension inside of them. They keep tense. And so it's by being together that all of a sudden they also start to relax and they start to breathe fully. And you realize everybody has these triggers. Not everybody gives attention to them or gives importance to them. They just think, this is how I am. I've always been like this. So does KAP help with OCD and anxiety? For certain. Because after a couple of sessions, I would feel at ease being in the group. And whenever my heart started to race, I would just realize it's my body reacting. I know there's nothing to fear. And there's also like something about being in that presence, in that magic, in that energy field together. It brings out so much. It's so electric. And you sink down into the space. It's really beautiful. Now, about OCD and KAP, I'm going to talk about my own experiences with this. In the past, when I was younger, I've had anxiety because I was always ashamed about who I was. When I would look in the mirror at myself, I knew there are certain things, if people knew about me, they would not accept me. And I didn't realize it back then, I'm not accepting that about myself either. Or there would be moments where I would, people would talk to me and I would react, I would express myself, and then I would see my reaction, my expression was not valued or was deemed not pleasant or not good. So I would suppress my reaction. So all of a sudden, I had this new suppress mechanism. I would be around people, and instead of suppressing my let's say, myself, whatever wanted to come out, I would suppress it. And I would say, no, I cannot be like this. I have to be nice. I have to be liked because I want people to like me. I want the good opinion of other people. I want the goop. And a lot of anxiety comes with that because you're never at ease. You're always tense, looking for the next thing, for the next mistake that you need to avoid. So that went on for quite a while. Also, what I tried was nofap. So if you masturbate a lot, you will see that sometimes you may feel drained of energy, or you have a lot of sex, you feel drained of energy, and you feel very emotionally exhausted. When you do nofap for a prolonged period of time, there's a stability, there's an inner confidence because the energy stays, it fills up, and there's a well of resources. You feel it, you just feel like so centered, so present. It's like your energy is like bundled together, and it's radiating from within you, and you're just confident, and you're at ease, and you have nothing to prove, and you have no anxiety. I would notice that. I would notice that the periods where there would be a lot of ejaculation, I would be like tense and a bit uncertain, a bit ashamed. And when I would do nofap, it would just be so secure, so yeah, not, I wouldn't say alignment, because it was not alignment, but it was just, I was full. I was full of my inner energy, and I would feel that emotional stability, thinking stability, confidence, being present. So about OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, from my understanding, this has a lot to do with also trauma reactions. So whenever something happens, your thoughts can start to race, and they can spiral out and go into the things. And it's a reaction. It's because of something that happened in the past. Something now happens, and it triggers, and that memory reactivates, and it starts to go off in these stories. And unless you're aware of it, you can get lost in stories, and because you believe the stories and you feed, and it keeps on going, keeps feeding itself, you have these emotional reactions to it, and you feel confused, and you don't see clearly. It's like your side becomes like this. Now, Sadhguru talks a lot about this, and he talks about how to bring your body, your energies, and your emotions in alignment. They're tools. So for instance, the food that you eat can have a very big impact. So in Ayurveda, there are 3 doshas, kapha, pitta, and vata. So whatever food you're eating, it increases certain qualities, certain energetic qualities in your body. It can agitate you, it can make you feel calm. So you have to be aware of what diet is best for you. Just changing that alone by itself will already give you emotional stability or energetic stability. Now for the body, doing stretching or yoga or tai chi, it balances the body, it centers the body. It gives you body awareness. Instead of being trapped in the mind, you go into the body, and when you're in the body, you're just flowing, you're just reacting, you're living, you're in the flow of your life stream, of your life force. And yeah, so for OCD, I think those things are important: food, meditation, mindfulness, and some kind of hatha yoga or stretching or qigong, whatever. Now with mindfulness, what I noticed was the more mindfulness that you start to do, the more that you become aware of whatever's happening in your mind, in your body, in your feelings, and you become aware that they come and they go. Whereas if you don't practice mindfulness, you can just think, and a thought may arise, and you may think, this is what I think, or this is the feeling that I feel, and you think that you have to do something, that you have to express it, or you don't like it, and you're let's say you're almost attached to it. But the more mindfulness that you practice, the more that there's a new way of relating to whatever is happening within you. All of a sudden, you realize, this impulse in me is arising, but I don't have to give in to it. This emotion is arising me, but I don't have to believe it or to express it. You can simply observe things. You can learn to be an observer of whatever is happening in you. And that already like changes a lot. Like with meditation also, if you do stillness meditation, mindfulness and stillness, and you immerse yourself in stillness daily, like after a while, you will become accustomed to it, and you will just feel this reservoir of stillness in you, and like there's always stillness here. There's always stillness. Whatever's happening, it will all pass. But if you don't have mindfulness or body awareness, and if your food, like junk food, is constantly like disturbing your energies, I mean, obviously, there's gonna be like, it's like you're being in a whirlpool, and you're in a tornado, you're just being whirled around, and you're going that way, that way, that way. It's like your energy wants to go that way, your emotions want to go that way, your thoughts want to go that way. So there's no alignment, so you cannot go in one direction smoothly because you're being pulled apart by different energies, different movements in your body. So yeah, bring yourself into alignment, do what you can. Food, choose the best diet for you, try different diets, go to an Ayurveda specialist, or try, see, work with a specialist, because it will save you time. And do some kind of body practice, because that will learn you to be in your body. It's very important, because when you're in your body, you can feel your feelings instead of thinking about a situation, instead of trying to contextualize and make something out of a situation. But when you're in your body, you can just stay with the feeling, whatever it is, you can just stay with it. And do mindfulness practice, and that will already help you a lot. And then you can do other things like transpersonal coaching, shadow work, emotional release. There are so many things, but in KAP, for certain, in KAP you will get also a lot of releases. And after a while, because after every KAP sessions you're in alignment, you will feel more and more at ease at being yourself. And you will know what it feels like to be yourself. You will get accustomed to that feeling. So whenever you're not, you will notice something is triggering me to get out of alignment, to not be myself. And then it's an opportunity for you to find out, what is it that is bringing me out of alignment, right? What is it? What in me reacts to whatever happened? Because it's all in you. Like, if you're truly like enlightened or self-realized, whatever happens, you never get lost in it, because it's just all happening, right? So the trick is to learn to relate with everything that's happening, or to fully surrender into it. There are different ways. Either you learn to enjoy it, you learn to recontextualize it, you learn to release it, to surrender it, or you learn to live through all of it, because there's also an ecstasy in that. It's like, at a certain point, if you're not afraid, and this also has to do with conditioning, if you're not afraid to be hurt, if you're not afraid of experience, then all experience is beautiful. Then instead of saying, oh my God, I don't want this to happen, I wish this didn't happen, you're gonna be like, wow, now I get to experience this. Wow, now I get to experience this. Wow, now I get to experience this. And you know what the beautiful thing is? When you really surrender to an experience, whatever it is, a breakup, lovemaking, a fight, a big conflict, whatever, if you really surrender into it and you flow into it without judging it, without resisting it, there's a wisdom in it. It's like you're living through something and you're gaining wisdom, you're digesting it. And after that experience, you realize, wow, I've lived through something, and it doesn't stick. There's no impression of something bad happened, something good happened. It's just like, I lived through that. And you have that life experience which is undiluted by your opinions, by your judgments. But this is already about surrendering. So first, bring your body, your emotion, and your thoughts into alignment. And then after that, like, do the best that you can, because we're all doing the best that we can. And KAP will help you for certain. KAP will bring all your sheets of bodies into alignment, and yeah, it's all supporting you. It's all supporting it. Like, all these tools, they're all a support for you to enjoy your life, to live your life, to well, my teacher talked about this. He said, I asked him, like, what do you think is like the purpose of life? He said, well, it's like, if you're an apple tree, what does an apple tree give? He gives apples, right? He doesn't do it for applause, or to get something from somebody. He does it because he's an apple tree. So it's like, when you are in alignment with yourself, and the energy that is your life force can stream through you, and you can fully express yourself, then there's an innate feeling, I want to give to the world who I am, because I want to share who I am, and you give to the world what you are. And that's really beautiful, and it feels really great, because you're not trying to do something, you're just being you, and you're giving to the world. And the world can profit from it, cannot profit from it, but you are fertile. You are being all that you can be. You are being your full potential. Because what is usually hindering our full potential is our conditioning, our unresolved conditioning, our unresolved traumas, our confusion, because we're not aware enough, or maybe it's our karma. I mean, there's different ways to think about this, but another teacher of me told me, like, we're always doing the best that we can to the level of awareness that we have. And awareness is not the same as knowledge, because knowledge is knowing. You read something and you know it. Awareness is being, right? It's like embodying what you know. And you can try to embody all that you want. I try to embody love. I try to embody peace and joy. It's fun. But you also have to realize there's a lot of unresolved things in your body. And if you turn to yourself and you seek tools and help to work with these, to help you to resolve these things, then your body, it's like the you that you are, your light, your love from within, it will, your original life spark, it will just shine forth without the obstruction of your let's say, I don't want to say ego, but your unconscious fears, your unconscious desires. When there's just pure shining of who you are, then everything is happening like life is intending it to happen. When there's conditioning, when there's fear, when there's all that, then the energy is trying to express itself, but it's always being blocked by a fear, by a trauma, by whatever. So yeah, do the inner work and take care of yourself. Mind, mindfulness, body, hatha yoga, stretching, whatever, and food. Eat good food that nourishes you, that is in line with your body. And some people may need other food than other people, but food will impact the energies in your body, especially when you're starting out or you're in the middle of your journey. It has a tremendous impact. I think when you're enlightened, it will impact you, but it won't change your consciousness. But with beings or people who aren't enlightened yet, it will affect you, because it affects your mood, it affects how you feel. Yeah, and if you're functioning from that, you're not really conscious. You're just aware that you feel a certain way, but then you are stuck in that, right? Because you cannot willfully change it, unless you can. Anyway, thank you so much for the question, and I hope something I said here is yeah,